जरा हल्के गाड़ी हाँको मेरे राम गाड़ी वाले,
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 जरा धीरे धीरे गाड़ी हाँको मेरे राम गाड़ी वाले,
जरा धीरे धीरे गाड़ी हाँको मेरे राम गाड़ी वाले,
जरा हौले हौले गाड़ी हाँको मेरे राम गाड़ी वाले,
जरा हौले हौले गाड़ी हाँको मेरे राम गाड़ी वाले।
गाड़ी मारी रंग रंगीली पैया है लाल गुलाल,
गाड़ी मारी रंग रंगीली पैया है लाल गुलाल,
गाड़ी मारी रंग रंगीली पैला है लाल गुलाल,
गाड़ी मारी रंग रंगीली पैया है लाल गुलाल,
हाकन वाली चैल चबीली बैठन वाला राम,
हाथन वाली चल चवीनी बैठन वाले राम,
भैया हल्के गाड़ी हाँको मेरे राम गाड़ी वाले,
जरा हल्की गाड़ी हाँको मेरे राम गाड़ी वाले,
जरा धीरे धीरे गाड़ी हाँको मेरे राम गाड़ी वाले,
जरा धीरे धीरे गाड़ी हाँको मेरे राम गाड़ी वाले।
गाड़ी अपनी रेत में भाई मजल परी है
गाड़ी अटकी रेत में भाई मुझती है दूर,
गाड़ियत की रेत में भाई मजल परी है जो,
गाड़ी अटकी रेत में भाई मजल पई है दूर,
धर्मी धर्मी पार उतर गया पापी चकनाचूर,
धर्मी धर्मी पार उतर गया पापी चकनाचूर,
धर्मी धर्मी पार उतर गया पापी चकनाचूर,
धर्मी धर्मी पार उतर गया नाचूर,
भैया हल्के गाड़ी हाँको मेरे राम गाड़ी वाले,
जरा हल्की गाड़ी हाँको मेरे राम गाड़ी वाले,
जरा धीरे धीरे गाड़ी हाँको मेरे राम गाड़ी वाले,
जरा धीरे धीरे गाड़ी हाँको मेरे राम गाड़ी वाले।
देश देश का वैद बुलाया लाया जड़ी और बूटी,
देश देश का वैद बुलाया लाया जड़ी और बूटी,
देश देश का वैद बुलाया लाया जड़ी और बूटी,
देश देश का वैद बुलाया लाया जड़ी और बूटी,
जड़ी बूटी तेरे काम न आई जब राम के घर की टूटी,
जड़ी बूटी तेरे काम न आए जब राम के घर की टूटी,
जड़ी बूटी तेरे काम न आई जब राम के घर की टूटी,
जड़ी बूटी तेरे काम न आए जब राम के घर
हल्के गाड़ी हाँको मेरे राम गाड़ी वाले,
जरा हल्की गाड़ी हाँको मेरे राम गाड़ी वाले,
जरा हौले हौले गाड़ी हाँको मेरे राम गाड़ी वाले,
जरा हौले हौले गाड़ी हाँको मेरे राम गाड़ी वाले।
चार जने मिल मथो उठायो बांध काट की घोरी,
चार जने मिल मत उठाया बांध काट की डोरी,
चार जने मिल मथो उठायो बांध काट की घोरी,
चार जने मिल मत उठाया बांध काट की डोरी,
लेका कर मर घट पे रखिया फूक दी जैसे होली,
ले जाकर मरकत पे रखिया फूट पकड़ी,
ले जाकर मर घट पे रखिया फूक दी जैसी होली,
ले जाकर मरकत पे रखिया फूट तीन कचूर,
भैया हल्के गाड़ी हाँको मेरे राम गाड़ी वाले,
जरा हल्की गाड़ी हाँको मेरे राम गाड़ी वाले।
बिलख कर प्रिया रोवे बिछड़ गई मेरी जोड़ी बिलख बिलख कर प्रिया रोवे बिछड़ गई मेरी जोड़ी कहे कबीर सुनो वैसा दो जिन जोड़ी तिन तोड़ी कबीर सुनो भाई साधो जिन जोड़ी तिन तोड़ी भैया हल्के गारी हाथो मेरे राम गारी वाले जरा धीरे धीरे गारी हाथो मेरे राम गारी वाले जरा होले होले गारी हाथो मेरे राम गारी वाले सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। No, that was a difficult bhajan and you all did not know it. So you couldn't sing. So now I'm going to sing something very simple. Everybody should sing. Huh? Some easy stuff. राधे 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 गोविंद सब गाइए
राधे 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 गोविंद
राधे 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 गोविंद
राधे 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 गोविंद सब गाइए
राधे 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 गोविंद
राधे 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 गोविंद
राधे 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 गोविंद
राधे 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 गोविंद everybody
राधे 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 गोविंद
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 राधे 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 राधे
राधे राधे राधे गोविंद
राधे 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 गोविंद
कृष्ण मुकुंद
कृष्ण मुकुंद
बाल गोविंद
बाल गोविंद
कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुदेवाय नमः। ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्
नमोस्तुते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दुग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्ससुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्।
हरि ओम। श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम, श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम,
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 श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम,
श्री कृष्ण शरणं मम।
Krishna Kanaya Lal ki jai. Nobody in temple could play this dantal. Dantal is here. धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुत्सवः।
जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण, जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण।
धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुत्सवः।
जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण, जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण।
मामका पाण्डवाश्चैव किम कुर्वत संजय।
जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण, जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण।
मामका पाण्डवाश्चैव किम कुर्वत संजय।
जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण, जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण।
यावत् संजायते किंचित्, यावत् संजायते किंचित् सत्त्वं स्थावरजं गमम्।
जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण, जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण।
यावत् संजायते किंचित् सत्त्वं स्थावरजं गमम्।
जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण, जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण।
क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञयो क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञ संयोगात् तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभा।
जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण।
क्षेत्र क्षेत्रज्ञ संयोगात् तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभा।
जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण।
समं सर्वेषु भूतेषु तिष्ठन्तं परमेश्वरम्।
जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण।
विनश्यत्स्वं विनश्यन्तं यः पश्यति स पश्यति।
जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण।
जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण।
जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण।
श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण।
जय श्री कृष्ण जय हरे कृष्ण।
Krishna Kanaya Lal ki jai. Okay, so just let me tell you where we are and what we were doing last night, so we'll follow the thread from yesterday. We are doing 108 night Bhagavad Gita Yajna from all the way from Krabwood Creek to Pamaroon in 108 temples. So today is number 80, I think. Today is number, this is the 80th temple that we have been to. And still have, that means 28. So, in these 108 temples, we are doing the whole Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita has 700 verses. 700 verses broken up into 18 chapters. So some chapters like chapter 12 and chapter 15, they have only 20 verses. And chapter 18 has 78 verses, like that. But when you add up all the 18 chapters, you get 700 verses. So what exactly is Bhagavad Gita? Teaching the basic knowledge. You know, when you buy any appliance, like Ramesh ji would have bought all this equipment and all of that, right? It usually comes with a owner's manual, you know. When you buy a pressure cooker or a pot, you get a owner's manual or not? Yes, that tells you how to operate that pot. Put water in here, it tells. Put water here, an arrow will show. And don't put your head in there. And keep out of the reach of children. It tells so many things in that owner's manual, correct or not? Right. So now all of us come in this world and no owner's manual was given. How to do what? So the owner's manual is Bhagavad Gita. If you study Bhagavad Gita well, you will know how to use this body, mind and intellect and live this life properly. And people who don't study Bhagavad Gita, well, that is why you see there's so much trouble in the society everywhere, isn't it? Everywhere there's trouble, one trouble, there's crime on that side, drug addiction on the other side, alcoholism on the other side, then all sorts of social ills. I don't want to tell, you know what I'm talking about. So many social ills are there. So, if as human beings, if we study the owner's manual properly, the Bhagavad Gita, then everything in life will go very smooth and nice. But we are not exposed to Bhagavad Gita, that is the problem. And in Sanatan Dharma terms, Bhagavad Gita is very small text, only 700 verses. This is the smallest text you will ever have. Mahabharata has 100,000. Where is 700 and where is 100,000? You see? Ramayana 24,000. So Bhagavad Gita, that means very small. Owner's manual are always small. Correct or not? Your biology book in school is big. If the owner's manual was big like your biology book, nobody will read it, throw it away. Always small. Right. So now, of these 18 chapters, where we have reached chapter 13, it is coming to an end. And from chapter 13 to 18, this is the portion where we have to study now, or what we call as Gyan. Gyan means knowledge. Now, I don't know in Guyana how you use that word, right? But in Trinidad, and anybody is a smart man. Smart man, you know? What do you say in Guyana language? He's a schema. Or You have any word for that? Huh? Scamp. Right. Somebody say correct. In Trinidad, local language in the village and all, when he's a scamp, he says a smart man. Smart man means a scamp. We say that fellow had too much gyan. Too much gyan means too much knowledge. But he have the wrong knowledge because he only know how to scheme people. Huh? So that knowledge will take me to Narak. Narak means it will bring only sorrow in my life. That type of knowledge. And knowledge of Bhagavad Gita will bring joy in life. So, we say, the word Gyan is used when people have all this kind of worldly knowledge and to know how to scheme people and scampish knowledge and all that kind of thing. But that is not the proper meaning of the word Gyan. The proper meaning of the word Gyan means knowledge of Paramatma. What is that? Knowledge of? Yes, like that. So from chapter 13 to 18, this is the theme, the main topic. And the 6 chapters before that, the main topic was Bhakti. And the 6 chapters before that, the main topic was Karma Yoga. So unfortunately, in number 80, we are in your temple and we are in a chapter that deals with Gyan. That is hard stuff. Like in school, most people don't know mathematics too well. People will say, I will pass that, I will pass the other thing, but mathematics, oh bapre, I can't pass that. So same thing with this Gyan also. People say, no, that's not for me, I will sing some bhajan and all, I worship Bhagwan. Don't tell me anything about this Gyan. Huh? But there are some people who like mathematics. And in any case, even though you don't like mathematics, you still have to pass it to get a full certificate in CXC, correct or not? You have to pass it. What to do now? Huh? So you have to start learning your mathematics by hook or crook. Yeah. What to do? So this Gyan portion also we have to start learning now by hook or crook. Because the intellect is where we learn all this knowledge, and the intellect is the distinguishing faculty from the rest of the creatures on the earth. I hope you understand what that means. See, the rest of the creatures on the earth, they do lot of hard work, right? Like the donkey or the bison, they work, right? So we also do a lot of hard work because work is done with his body. So they have a body and we have a body, right? Second thing is, they have emotions and they have feelings, and we also have emotions and feelings. That's in the second part of the personality. So we are common also. In fact, sometimes they are better than us. The animal kingdom, sometimes look here. If you beat your dog, see, your dog loves you unconditionally. But human beings are not like that. If you beat your dog in the morning, when you're going to work, right? You're going to work in the rice field and you beat the dog. And you're gone to work. In the evening when you come back, that poor fellow, kitna bhole bhale, he's so nice and so sweet. In the evening when you come back, he's still wagging his tail and say, come. Correct? He has so much of love for you. You try that with your spouse, na? You beat your husband in the morning, or beat your wife in the morning and go to work. And when you come back, what happened? No food, correct? See, look, then no. So the dog has unconditional love, and human beings have conditional love. So the dog emotion is better than ours. So anyway, those are the two faculties. Now what is that? The body, and the next faculty is the heart, where we have all emotions, different types of emotions. So animals and human beings have these two, but the human beings have one more. So what is that? That is called the intellect. And it is with that intellect that so many things can be done which the animals cannot do. So you cannot tell the animal, okay, now 2 plus 2. Right? If you could tell a human being, right? 2 plus 2. Tell your dog now. 2 plus 2. One fellow said, my dog could do mathematics. The other man said, what do you mean your dog could do mathematics? Yeah. When I asked my dog, 2 minus 2. he says nothing. That is foolishness, because he say nothing means 2 minus 2 is. So, with the last faculty, the intellect, we do all calculation and planning and deciphering, logical rationalization, and so many things with this. And this is the faculty with which we learn all the knowledge. So, this last faculty is what is to be applied in these last 6 chapters, and this is the 13th chapter, the first of these 6 chapters in the end. All right. Now, Bhagavan is telling in these verses which we just chanted. Just chant again for 1 minute. Radhe 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 Govinda. Sab gaiye.
Radhe 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 Govinda.
Radhe 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 Govinda. Sab gaiye.
Radhe 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 Govinda.
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 Radhe 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 Govinda. Krishna Mukunda,
Krishna Mukunda,
Bala Govinda,
Bala Govinda.
Krishna Kanaya Lal ki jai. Okay, yavat sanjayate kinchit sattvam sthavara jangamam kshetra kshetrajna samyogat tadvidhi bharatasha. O Bharatasha, O Arjuna, understand. Bhagavan is telling to Arjuna, understand this thing. What? In this world, anything which is manifested in this world, right? At one time this was not there, now it is manifested. So anything which is manifested, in ordinary language you say anything which is born, which is a very poor word in English. But anything which is manifested, it is made up of kshetra and kshetrajna. It is made up of 2 aspects of Ishvara. One aspect of Ishvara which is the changing aspect, and the other aspect of Ishvara which is the unchanging aspect. So in us also now, right? This body is changing. But inside this body, there is the Atma. That Atma is not changing. Our Atma doesn't have any age. This body has age. And that's why we go on celebrating birthday. You don't celebrate birthday of the Atma, you celebrate birthday of the body. Yeah, this body is going on changing. And you know that you can't recognize a person if you show somebody your picture when you were 10 years old, and now you show them your picture when you are 60 years old. You think they will recognize you? No. That body change. Eh? So one aspect of all of us is a changing aspect, and there is an aspect inside which is not changing. It's called as avyayaha. Here 2 words are being used. One is kshetra. This body belongs to kshetra, which is changing. And the other one is kshetrajna. And Bhagavan is using 2 other words also in the same chapter. One is called as prakriti, the changing world. And the other is called as purusha, the unchanging reality inside. So he's using various words. Why Bhagavan is using so many words to confuse us? Why don't you use just one word? This is one of the things in Sanatana Dharma. There are so many words. The idea is, you know how in the world we have so many various types of language? And for pani is water, right? So look, I know just use 2 words for the same thing. And here, next door in Venezuela, what they call? Agua. So pani, water, agua. In Sanskrit, jala. Right? So now, right there itself, 4 words for the same one thing. So in the same way, for Bhagwan also, so many different types of words like are there. So it's not Bhagwan is trying to confuse us. He's using different words because in his time when he was there in the Dwapar Yuga, they used many words for these things. So he's trying to include all of those words in Bhagavad Gita. So he said, all of us are made up of these two aspects. Whatever, not only us, even this thing. Every single thing in the world, there's a part of it which is changing, and there's a part of it which is not changing. This thing, the existence inside this thing is not changing. Sat. But its nama rupa, name and form, it is changing. So now rupa like this, now you see it, nice and painted well and all that kind of thing. After 25 years, you'll see it rusty. It becomes rusty, correct? It changed. But the existence which makes it a Sat aspect, that never changes. Everything, yavat sanjayate kinchit, anything in this world. And you know in the Ramcharitmanas, Tulsidas ji says he sees Ram in everything in this world. He sees Ram in everything. But Bhagavan says, Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram. The absolute reality, God, Paramatma, the Lord, He exists equally in all things. He exists in you, in me, and in all beings equally. Bhagavan doesn't exist in these people more and in those people less, and no such thing. Bhagavan exists equally in all beings. In the 9th chapter, some chapters before, he said there, Samoham sarva bhuteshu, I am same in all beings, and I have no special love for this being and special love for that being and the other being. Bhagavan even loved Ravan. If you all study Ramayana properly, you will know that Ravan is such a diabolical, wicked, sinister fellow, correct? But Bhagavan also had love for Ravan. Bhagavan walked from Ayodhya to go to Lanka to give Ravan mukti, because Ravan was the birth of Ravan, Kumbhakaran, Jai and Vijay, you know that. And he had promised Jai and Vijay, I myself will come to give you mukti. So Bhagavan had love even for Ravan. He loves, he says, all beings equally. Not he loves some being more and some being less. Like the sun, right? The sun doesn't say, hey, see these people here, they live in Essequibo. I'm not going to give them sunlight. I don't like Essequibo people. I will give sunlight only to people in Burmese. The sun ever says like that? No. The sun gives sunlight to everybody equally. So Bhagavan gives his love like that to everybody equally. Like that, he is existing equally in all beings and he loves everybody equally. Vinashyatsu vinashyantam. Avinashyantam. Vinashyatsu avinashyantam. And the reality, finally, is that reality which is existing and which is permanent and which doesn't die when all the other things which we know around us die. I mean, die means when they wane and they get, what we call, rusted out and rotted out and slowly evaporate and disappear. But the Paramatma, that never happens to Paramatma, never disappears. That is a very, very important thing for us to remember. Behind this body, there is something which never goes away. The body goes and we'll take it to the smashan. Smashan means the cremation site there, and they will cremate the body. But the Atma inside never goes. It is called as Avinashyantaha. It never goes away. Ya pashyati sa pashyati. He who understands this and sees this, he really sees. Then, I left out any verse? Is it? Right. From number 29 now. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Samam pashyan hi sarvatra samavara समवस्थितमीश्वरम् न हीनस्त्यात्मनात्मानं ततो याति परां गतिम्
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
प्रकृत्यैव च कर्माणि क्रियमाणानि सर्वशः
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
य पश्यति तथात्मानम् अकर्तारं स पश्यति
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
यदा भूतपृथक् भावम् एकस्थम् अनुपश्यति
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
तथैव च विस्तारम् ब्रह्म सम्पद्यते तदा
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय. समम पश्यन् हि सर्वत्र समवस्थितम् ईश्वरम्. Bhagavan exists equally in all beings, and then nahinasthyatmanatmanam tato yati param gatim. And the person who is able to see this, he does not destroy himself by himself. This is all technical words I tell you. Now let me just give you an example so that you will understand. See, in Sanskrit there is a word called Anyayavartin. Anyayavartin means the person who is all the time engaged in corrupt acts. You know there's corruption everywhere, right? Like for example, this side and this side, they were fighting a case in the court, right? So this fellow is telling his lawyer, look, you better give the judge a case of whiskey as bribe. Whiskey, you know, na? You don't know what is whiskey? Whiskey, yeah. You better give the judge a case of whiskey as bribe. So this lawyer told his client, no, you can't give that judge any bribe. You crazy or what? That judge is one of the most strict judges we have in the whole country. If we try to bribe him, we'll sure lose. He doesn't fall for this kind of foolishness. We'll sure lose. So the client said, but we have a very weak case. I think we're going to lose in any case. We have a weak case. He said, yes, we have a weak case, but we'll still try, but we can't bribe that judge. Because that then losing is guaranteed. So then they went through the case and everything happened and judgment came and they won. They won the case. So the client is asking the judge now, but we had such a, he's a lawyer, we had such a weak case, how we won? I can't understand that. He said, because I gave the judge a case of whiskey. He said, but you yourself told that you can't bribe that judge. How you gave the judge a case of whiskey and we won? No, I gave him a case of whiskey and I told him it came from the other side. That case came from that side. So they surely lost. But you know, all over this world, there are corrupt judges. You know that, right? They are corrupt. Not all judges are corrupt. I'm not saying all judges are corrupt. But I'm saying all over the world, there are corrupt judges. Just, I don't know if you were seeing the news. This is all real thing. Just 2 weeks ago in the news, big news everywhere. One judge in New Delhi, this is the capital of Bharat. One judge was not at home, and his house caught fire. So the fire department came to put out the fire, and while putting out the fire, they found millions of dollars in cash in his house. Millions in cash. They don't pay judges in cash. Judge salary goes to the bank, correct? So now big investigation going on there. So wherever, it doesn't matter wherever it is. So that time when we say, I'm just telling all of this example because Bhagwan uses a word here. Bhagwan's word is what? We kill the self by ourselves. But how you kill yourself? The Atma cannot be killed, correct? The Atma, we saw in second chapter, is Atma cannot be killed. So when a judge takes a bribe like that, and the judge does the wrong thing, that time he is destroying justice or not? He killing justice. You can't get proper justice. He kills justice like that. See, now you can't hold. Where is justice in this guy? Catch him. Let me kill him. It's something subtle. When we just have figure of speech, a manner of speaking. So to say that we kill, justice died. You see. So in the same way, to ignore the self, which the Atma which is inside, to disregard the Atma, or to misunderstand the Atma, or to think that the Atma will die one day. All such wrong thinking, that is like killing the self. This is what Bhagwan means here. Nothing, not any big thing like that. Samam pashyan hi sarvatra, samavastitam ishwaram, nainastyatmanatmanam, tato yati param gati. When the person is able to see the Atma existing in all things, everywhere, that person does not kill the self by the self. And actually we kill ourselves by ourselves because we never recognize Paramatma. We never recognize Atma. What do we recognize? Hey, look, my neighbor coming. We only recognize all the worldly things. And what do we bring in coconut, you know? He have a whole bunch of coconut in his hands. I'm going to ask him for a coconut. Oh, neighbor get a cell phone. What is that? iPhone? So that time anybody thinking about Paramatma? Atma and all that? No. We only are thinking about all the worldly things. So we ignore the self. Look here. If the president comes to your house, you will ignore him? You may say yes, but when the time comes, then you will see you are the one who will run the most. So now, in front of Paramatma, president is nothing. President is nothing in front of Paramatma. And we ignore Paramatma in our own self. Atma Paramatma is one and same. So that is the meaning of killing the self by the self. Prakritya evacha karmani kriyamanani sarvashaha. This is a repeat of a verse in the second chapter. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha. This Prakriti of Bhagwan is, let me just ask you a question so you'll understand what is being said here. So we say, who is running this world? Everybody says, Bhagwan is running this world. But Bhagwan is saying, no, my Prakriti is running this world. So I'll give you an example for you to understand this. See, when the car gets in an accident, do you blame the gas? We say, but one more thing, if there were no gas in the car, how the car will get in an accident? If there were no gas in the car would have to sit home, it cannot get in an accident. But when the car gets in an accident, you can't go by the gas station and tell, hey, see, you all sold me this gas, it's your fault. This gas caused the accident. You can't do that also. So now that's a very peculiar situation, isn't it? Without gas, the car cannot get in an accident. And when the car has gas and it gets in an accident, that time also you cannot blame the Gas. And who you have to blame? At one place I asked this question. You have to be careful when I'm asking this question also. Who you have to blame? One man in the audience said, the donkey behind the steering wheel. You can't blame the gas, you have to blame the man behind the steering wheel. But without the gas, the car would never have gotten in an accident. That is a very peculiar, in the very same way Bhagwan's position in this world. Without Bhagwan, nothing can run. But when anything happens in this world, you can't blame Bhagwan. You get it? You have to blame the people who Bhagwan gave free choice. He gave us free choice to choose this or to choose that, na? So we make the wrong choices and we get in trouble. Exactly the same thing. Huh? So, he says here, Bhagwan says, the Prakriti is going on doing its thing. And yapashyati tathatmanam akartaram sapashyati. The Bhagwan is facilitating everything in this world, but he is called as akarta. Akarta means he is not the one who is doing. We do and we get in trouble. Bhagwan is just supplying the wherewithal and supplying everything which we need to do whatever we do. That is all. The gas is supplying momentum to the car. But the gas is not responsible for the accident. You have to blame the donkey. Alright, so Bhagwan tells like this: Yada bhuta pritak bhavam ekastam anupashyati tataha eva cha vistaram brahma sampadyate tada. When I see that one Paramatma making all things in this world work, yada bhuta pritak bhavam ekastham anupashyati, all of us existing in that one Paramatma, and that one Paramatma is making everything work. He is the one who has manifested as all of this which we are seeing in front of us. Last night we discussed this in detail. It is one Paramatma that has manifested as you, me, and every other thing. Inert, that's called acharam and charam also. In moving and unmoving, whether it is charam or acharam, it is same one Paramatma that has really manifested as all things in the world. So, when that person has seen that, then he reaches the state of mukti, or he reaches the state of Paramatma. Brahma sampadyate tada. When the person is able to see Bhagwan everywhere. I told you now, what we see? We see our neighbor, we see the dog, and we see the donkey coming, and we see rain, and we see all the worldly things. But we really don't see Paramatma existing in the world. But once the person has come to see that, then only he is able to reach Paramatma. Anaditvat nirgunat. We have to chant that. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
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 Anaditvat nirgunatvat Paramatmayamavyayah.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Sharirastopi kaunteya na karoti na lepyate.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama,
Yatha sarvagatam saukshnyat akasham nopalepyate.
Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, शरणं मम
सर्वत्रावस्थितो देहे ततात्मानो प्रलिप्यते
श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम
श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम
श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम श्रीकृष्ण शरणं
कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय। अनादित्वात् निर्गुणत्वात् परमात्मा अयम अव्ययः. The Paramatma, the Atma, which is the unchanging part of our personality, is Anadi and it is Nirguna. Now see, all these are big words. Usually we don't understand what is the meaning of the word Anadi. Anadi in Sanskrit means beginningless. It is not that Paramatma was born at some time. It is not that anybody created you and me. We have always been there. Bhagavad Gita starts this teaching. See, if you up till now, right, if you have been thinking in your mind that God created you, right, if that is what you have been thinking till now, that means to say you are a Christian. That is, all of us have been taught that, because you have to understand the history also. What happened? The British went into Bharat in 1600 and slowly by 1700 they take over Bharat. And they demolish all the gurukuls and all of that kind of thing, and they brought what they call convent schools. What is it? Yeah, they brought convent schools. And then in those convent schools, now I'm talking about 300 years of history, and they started teaching in those convent schools. And up till today, we still have the disease in our mind that if we go to a convent school, that is a prestigious school, correct? But what they do, they wipe out all Sanatana Dharma from our head, and they put all Western Christian thinking in our head. In the beginning of this Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan is telling very clearly to Arjuna, my dear, listen to the verse. Natve vaham natu jatu nasam natvam neme janadhipaha nachaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayamata param. You go back to the second chapter and you'll see a verse number maybe 13 or something around there. 12, 13 something. Bhagavan is telling Arjuna, there was never a time when you were not, nor me, nor any of these kings. That means we have always been there. This is Sanatana Dharma. We have always been there. And this word in Sanskrit is called as Anaditvam, beginninglessness. This is Sanatana Dharma. So what we have been taught in school, and what we have been taught over the last 300 years as a civilization, is somebody created us. That is pure Christianity. Bhagavan is teaching throughout his Bhagavad Gita, we have always been there and we will always be there. Gita starts like that. So now here, this Atma again is being reiterated that it is Anadi, Anaditvat, Nirgunatvat. Not only it is Anadi, it is also Nirguna. Now, beginningless. Now you see, it is very difficult for our intellect to understand what is beginningless. Suppose you go back 1 billion years, I was there. And you go back 1 billion years before that, I was still there. And that's why we see it. I was there in this form, in a human form, in a Devata form, in a butterfly form, in any form. Any different form. But I have always been there. Please understand. Now you make sure that you convert your mind to Sanatana Dharma. We have always been there. So now, because I am beginningless, he says in the end here, that I am Avyayaha, unchanging. I am unchanging. Now this is a whole logical sort of, this verse requires a lot of logic and all in reflection on this thing. Anything which is beginningless cannot change. anything which has a beginning, which it was not there, and then it started at one time, it has a beginning, that itself is a change. So once you get involved in one change, well, is one change after the next. You know that. People who gamble, right? Once they gamble the first time, after that is in trouble, correct? Yeah, better you don't go there. Better don't go there at all. So one thing leads to the next. Life is like that. But anyway, in this world, there are only two things. One thing which is changing and one thing which is not changing. So I am the thing which is not changing. I am that Atma, which is, I am telling also, is Paramatma, one and same. That is not changing. All the other things are changing. And he says here, that thing is beginningless, anadi. So actually what is being used here is fifth case logic is being used. Huh? Because it is beginningless, it is changeless. Because it is beginningless, it is gunaless. It is without guna, nirguna. That is all because. And for that you really have to, what you will have to do, you have to come in Trinidad and stay in the ashram for 2 years, and we'll learn that, we'll reflect on that for 2 years. Big words. But anyway, for us at this point in time, the best thing is to understand, look, I have always been there and I am unchanging. I may take on this body or take on that body or take on the other body, but it is the same jiva who is living in that body, whichever body it is. Like that. Sharirasthopi kaunteya nakaroti nalipyate. Staying in this body, this Atma doesn't do anything, nor does it get smeared, nor does it get tainted in any way. Yathasa, and he gives two examples in the next two verses. Now look here, what is the first example? See where we stay there in Monrepo, about 1 block away, or maybe a block and a half away, like that. One fellow has a pig farm, pig farm. Well, you know, pig farm gives out a certain scent, right? The odor which comes out from a pig farm is different from the odor which comes out from other places. So he has a pig farm there. So now the air comes and takes that odor and takes it all the way to Monrepo market. Not for sale, for free distribution. So the air comes and takes that odor. So now the air is passing where? The air is passing in space, correct? So when the air is carrying that undesirable odor through the space and it goes and goes, does it in any way taint the space? No. The air passes in that space, and after the air has gone, that space remains as it was. This is what Bhagavan is telling in this verse. In the very same way, and let me give you a next example, and then we'll come back to the point. So, if you take a clump of clay like this, right, and you split it in half, you make 2 clumps now. And with this clump of clay, you make a murti of Ram. And with this clump of clay here, you make a statue of Ravan. Right? So, remember in the beginning you only had 1 clump of clay, right? So you just split it in half. And you make Ram and you make Ravan. Right. Does this clay become wicked? No. The 2 clay is still the same, correct? Same. It doesn't matter what Ravan you make, Kumbhakaran, Ravan, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyakashya, whoever. Doesn't matter. Hiranyaksha. The clay remains the same. So now the clay here is appearing like Ravan. It appears to be like the wicked fellow, you know. Diabolical fellow, crook. But that clay is still the same as the same clay which made Ram also. It means to say, when you superimpose a name and form on something, it doesn't make that thing good or evil or anything. That thing remains as it was. So here, Bhagwan has manifested as all of us now. It's like Bhagwan is the clay, and now from that clay of Bhagwan, you are made, I am made, he is made, she, everybody is made. But no matter what we are, I am good or evil or anything, that does not do anything to Bhagwan. Just like Ram or Ravan doesn't do anything to the clay. You get this? This is the point which he is trying to make there. This is a very, very deep, subtle point. Yatha, what is that? Na upalipyate. It does not get smeared. For this upalipyate word I'm trying to explain. No matter what form Bhagwan takes on, Bhagwan does not get any blemish of that form. Like that clay will never get the blemish of Ravan form. Like that. That is the idea. Sarvatra vastito dehe tathatma na upalipyate. In the same way as Bhagwan is there in all these bodies, he is manifested as all of us. Bhagwan doesn't get any such blemish or any such thing. That blemish is only at a superficial level, but not at any fundamental level. The form of Ravan is only on the superficial level of the clay. The clay remains as it was before. Otherwise, people have all of these type of philosophical questions and all. Huh? Then, yatha prakashayati. Yes, we have to chant that. So 34. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
yatha prakashayatyeha Krishnam lokamimam bhavihi.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Kshetram kshetri tatha Krishnam prakashayati bharata.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna Kanaya Lal ki jai. Alright, so now the two words which Bhagavan started the chapter with, those two words he brings back again. One word is called a kshetra and the other one is called a kshetrajna. So here he changes the second word a little bit. He calls it kshetri. Kshetram kshetri tatha krishnam prakashayati. So now, what it means is this. All of us, we belong to kshetra. Kshetra means the field. And there is one Paramatma who is enlivening all of us. Now, how many types of current there are? You see, there is light here working with current. The refrigerator is working with current. The television is working with current. The toaster is working with current. The fan is working with current. The AC is working with current. Everything is working with current, right? But how many types of current are there? One type only, the same current, isn't it? Now, all of them, they are functioning differently. Because when the current goes in the fridge, it creates cold. And the same current goes in the stove, it creates hot. And the toaster, it creates heat. Same current, huh? When it goes there, it creates hot. When it goes there, it creates cold. When it goes here, it creates wind. When it goes in the AC, it creates cooling. Same current. Well, in the same way, the same Paramatma, one Paramatma, when it is expressing here through this body, mind, intellect, it expresses as a Swami. When it is expressing there, it expresses as a farmer. When it is expressing there, it expresses as a pilot. Expressing there as a cow, as a buffalo, as a donkey. Same one Paramatma, just like the same one current. Even though it is the same one current, it expresses variously in this equipment, that equipment. So all these bodies which you see in the world, they are like all equipment. They are called kshetri, kshetram, kshetra. And the Paramatma, which is expressing in all of them, which is the current, is called a kshetri here. Kshetram kshetri tatha Krishnam prakashayati. Just like one sun, Surya Bhagwan, the example which he gives, one sun. He is the one, see, the light of the sun in India is not different from the light of the sun in Guyana. We can't say Guyana sunlight, or Trinidad sunlight, or India sunlight. Sunlight is the same everywhere. You see? So it's like that. Paramatma is the same in everybody. Though the equipment, what we call, see, they're all technical words for this in Sanskrit. This equipment is called as upadhi. If you want to learn that Sanskrit word, what is it called? Upadhi. So this upadhi is different. The buffalo upadhi is different. The donkey upadhi is different. The bird upadhi is different. The ant upadhi is different. But because it's one Paramatma who is passing, enlivening all of them have intelligence in the same way. Don't think that you are smarter than an ant. Huh? No human being should think that they are smarter than an ant. Alright, look here. I'll show you how you could never be smarter than an ant. I'll show you. If you take 5 pounds of sand, right? 5 pounds of sand in a bucket, and you take 5 pounds of sugar and you mix it with that sand, right? 5 pounds sand, 5 pounds sugar, and you mix it good in the bucket. Now I want you to separate the two. Try. You could separate. No matter how long you live, you have to take 10 both again and still you can't separate. Correct? But if you give a little ant, that fellow, grain by grain, he will separate the sugar. Correct or not? Then how you say you're smarter than an ant? It is the same one intelligence, Paramatma, that is working in all beings and all creatures. And he has his own smartness and you have your own smartness. We should not say like that. But anyway, one Paramatma is existing in and through all things in the universe. Huh? That is the idea. Kshetram kshetri tatha Krishnam prakashayati. Like one sun is enlivening or enlightening all things in the world, illuminating all things in the world. So also one Paramatma is enlivening all of us. Same one Paramatma. Then Bhagavan summarizes the whole chapter now in one verse. This is the last verse in this chapter and summary of the whole. See. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama. Krishna Kanhaiya Lal ki jai. Bhagavan says, in this lifetime we have to learn three things. We have to know about three things. And if we know those three things, yanti te ye viduhu, who knows these three things, yanti te param, we reach the supreme state. So what are the three things to know? Here they are now. Kshetra, we have to know this world of changing things. This body, how this world is working, how things, and we are not talking about knowing the price of Bora in the market and all that kind of thing. So, Balaji is selling $10 a pound, $200 a pound, like that. We are not talking about that. You have to study this world to see the nature of the world. So I'll give you an example. You have to go on reflecting on the nature of this world. Example is like this. In this world, everything that comes into the world will one day also go. Correct? That is the nature of the world. Everything that comes into the world will, if you make an entry, you will also have to make an exit. Correct? You will build a temple only for that door to come in and nothing to go out. You have to also be an exit also, isn't it? So this world is the first thing. Anything that comes in this world, it has to also go. Now that immediately signifies what we call duality. If there is coming, there will be going. If there is birth, there will be death. If there is joy, there will be sorrow. If there is health, there will be disease. Correct? That is the duality. And you jump high or jump low or talk hard or talk soft, do whatever you want, you can't change any of that. That is the nature of the world. So we have to study this changing world like that, not to just merely to study what is the price of Balaji. That is what you do every day in your work a day, what you know. That is not sufficient. We have to really, now other thing. You have to go on reflecting. Every day we are living or we are dying? Oh, that is a hard question. Because we are not sure, we can't be sure if we are living. Because some people, have you heard in English language nowadays, you will hear young people saying, he's vegetating. He's just there. Doing? Nothing. I don't know if you have any word for that in Guyana, but in Trinidad we have plenty words for that. What is lahen? Doing? Nothing. So you don't know if this fellow living, but I'm telling you, we are not sure if we are living, but I guarantee 100% we are dying. Because every second that ticks in the clock, you are heading closer to the grave or not? Every second that goes this side on the clock, we are going closer to the grave. So we are dying. So now see, that is how life goes. We are born young and we become old. It's not the other way, born old and getting younger and younger and younger, you know. No. It doesn't happen like that. So study this world well. One more thing about, I'll tell you so many things about this world. See, this is called as the kshetra. The field has to be studied. Bhagavan says I have to know this field well. One more thing about this world. You know, you can't know anything for real. Why you can't know anything for real? I'll tell you why. Can you bathe in the same river twice? No. You can't bathe in the same river twice because the water which you bathe in, that water, gone. So you bathe in new water the next day. It's going now. Because this world is changing. By the time you know something, that thing has already changed. Everything in the world is changing. So you can't really know. Even science is now verifying all of this. Science is now verifying all of this. Now that there's something called a Heisenberg uncertainty principle. By that Heisenberg uncertainty principle, they say you really can't say anything for sure about this world. Because by the moment you figure out that thing, the thing has already changed. This is physics is teaching. Shastra is telling this for thousands of years, but now modern physics is now confirming all of this. So one thing you have to know about this world. Well, what? I really can't know anything for sure in this world. Because by the time I figure that thing out, it already changed. So like this, on and on, we have to reflect on this kshetra, this field. The second thing we have to know, kshetrajna, the one that is unchanging inside. We have to also know about that Paramatma, that Atma which is inside. We have to come to know about that. But human beings, I told you, we like the changing part. We don't want to study about Paramatma. We only want to study about this world and all the change that is going on. And if it's change, is a very strange thing. One fellow met another fellow in Georgetown, downtown Georgetown, and that fellow name was George also. And he said, "My God, George, look at you. You changed so much." George changed. "You changed so much, I can't recognize you. You put on so much weight. You lost all your hair. You looking so much older now." That fellow said, "What do you mean? What do you mean, George? My name is not George." He said, "What? You change your name too?" Everything about that. See, this world is like this, goes on changing, but there is a substratum beneath which is not changing. Bhagavan says, I have to know that also. And finally, he says, Bhuta Prakriti Moksham Cha. Cha means all. How this jiva, me, how I am going to get moksha from this Prakriti, I have to know that also. And today, you have taken the first step, and that first step really is satsang. If you do not find yourself in satsang like this, there is no such thing as moksha. You better forget it. And some people say, "But what? I don't care for moksha. What moksha? No, I don't want any moksha." Well, I'll tell you, all jivas, you know, they say when we get in problems, we come to our knees. Have you heard that phrase? We come to our knees. All jivas will come to their knees one day. Every jiva will come to their knees one day. And that jiva, well, that time he will desire moksha. This is the nature of Prakriti. Prakriti will make us do that. Right? When we are healthy and hale and hearty and everything, no, I don't want moksha. And this, oh, who cares about moksha? My life going good, you know. I have a nice house, nice car, nice wife, nice daughter, nice son, nice husband, you know, nice family, this, that, nice money and all. I don't want this moksha business. What is it? But Prakriti will bring everybody to their knees sooner or that time we will say, I want moksha. So Bhagavan is saying, no, better start now, try to figure out how to get moksha. And I told, the first step is to come in satsang. Now if you did not come to satsang, you would not have heard this Bhagavad Gita today. You would not be introduced to these ideas, you see. You can't get this Bhagavad Gita by any supermarket or what? You go there, you not hear Bhagavad Gita. Alright. So these three things have to be known. And it says, Ye viduhu, those who know these three things, te param yanti, they go to the supreme state. Okay. Alright. So now chapter 14 has come to an end. 13, I mean. Chapter 13 has come to an end. Next is chapter 14, and that will be tomorrow. Now let me tell you where. Adventure Mandir, 6 p.m. 6 o'clock. Oh. So tomorrow at 6 p.m. Adventure is far from here? Close by. More down. So tomorrow we'll be there and we'll start a new chapter. Chapter 14. Those of you who could make it, please do come. Being in satsang, Tulsidas ji writes in Ramcharitmanas, Binu satsanga vivekana hoi, Ram kripa binu sulabana soi.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya
satsanga vivekana hoi.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram.
Ram कृपा बिनु सुलभ न सोई।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय
So without this satsang, the Vivek, see, today I told in the beginning, there's one faculty that distinguishes us from the animal kingdom, that is called the intellect. And he says, without satsang, that intellect will never blossom and flower and never actuate itself. So it is in satsang where that really actualizes its potential. So if you have the time tomorrow, please do come and listen to the Bhagavad Gita discourse on chapter 14, and then we will take it further. Okay. Here's a bookmark. We have printed one for each person. This bookmark is to mark this occasion of 108 nights Bhagavad Gita Yajna and 108 consecutive nights in 108 temples, mandirs across Guyana. Printed just for this occasion. Please have one. You can put it in a book at home, and you will. There are some quotes also, Bhagavad Gita quotes and different things in this bookmark. Then, for those people who can make it to Georgetown on the 3rd of May, we have the grand conclusion and finale of this 108 nights on the 3rd of May for 5 p.m. 3rd of May, 5 p.m., Georgetown. And if you want a place to stay for that night, you can stay there in the ashram and come back also. Ashram is in Monripo. All right. With me on this journey of 108 nights are two students who are now posted in Guyana. They are formally posted at Chinmaya Mission Guyana, and they are teaching so many things at the ashram. Sanskrit and Bhagavad Gita chanting, Vedic chanting, puja course, so many various things are being taught, and in the traditional, authentic Sanatan Dharma way. Please communicate with them now and find out which courses you can take. Okay? Right. In August, we have camps at Monripo for children, and we have camp in Trinidad also. And now traveling to Trinidad has become very easy. You can come. Ashram also has a lot of space to stay. So the August camp at the ashram, you are invited, for those of you who could make it down to Trinidad. And for those people who want to study this type of knowledge, there is a very strict and demanding course at the ashram for 2 years. So you have to come and study in the ashram for 2 years, and there are no holidays, and classes run from 5:30 a.m. till 8 p.m. For 2 years, every single day, no holiday. Saturday, Sunday, nothing. Study every day. You don't. After 1 week, you will not know it is Monday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday. You will lose count of days, because every day is the same. So there will be no need for you to know the days. And first class 5:30 a.m. every day. So those people who, no, these are the qualifications. Those who qualify can join. You have to be 30 years and under. You have to be unmarried, and you have to have a university degree. And if you qualify like this, then the ashram will provide everything for those 2 years, and you can study and teach Sanatan Dharma wherever you are. Okay, that kind of thing. But it's very strict and very demanding. Only serious people should come there. But you tell others also, and those who join and come out alive, they could come and teach him. After 2 years, if you're still alive, then you could go and teach this type of thing. Okay. All right. So this course is conducted only in 2 places. One place is in Trinidad and one is in India. And the India batch is going on right now. Trinidad batch is starting on the 2nd of October. 2nd of October. Okay. Please have a look at our bookstall. There are so many books there. You can give books as present Actually, it's better if you give books as present. If you give people chocolate, they will put on weight and they'll get diabetes also. Right? But if you give books, they'll study hard and they'll lose weight. Right? And they will learn something also. So, please see the bookstall on your way out. Alright. Now we'll have Gita Arati and we'll conclude. Okay. ओम जय भगवद गीते मैया जय भगवद गीते हरि कमल विहारी हरि कमल विहारी सुंदर सुपुनीते ओम जय भगवद गीते सुमरन प्रकाशी काम सती हरा तप ज्ञान विकाशिनी विद्या ब्रह्म परा निश्चल भक्ति विधाय निर्मल मलहारी शरण रहस्य प्रदायिनी जब विधि सुखकारी राग द्वेष विचारी कारिणी मोद सदा मैया भवभयहारिणी कारिणी भरणानंद प्रदा आसुर भाव विनाशिनी नाशिनी कमर जनी दैवी सगुणदायिनी हरिरसिका सजनी समता त्याग सिखावे हरिमुख की बानी सकल शास्त्र की स्वामिनी
शास्त्र की स्वामिनी
बुद्धियों की रानी
जय भगवद
दया सुधा बरसावन मातु कृपा की जय
मातु कृपा की जय
हरिपद प्रेम दान कर
हरिपद प्रेम दान
कर ली जय मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वजः मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्षं मंगलायतनो हरिः त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम। बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। नमः पार्वती पते हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम तत्सत।